గోకుల నందన గోపాల 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 గోకుల నందన గోపాల 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 గోకుల నందన గోపాల నవనీత చోరా గోపాల నంద కుమార నవనీత చోర నంద నందన గోపాల 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 గోకుల నందన గోపాల 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 గోకుల నందన గోపాల అనాథ రక్షక గోపాల ఆపద్బాంధవ గోపాల అనాథ రక్షక ఆపద్బాంధవ అఖిలాధార గోపాల 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 గోకుల నందన గోపాల 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 గోకుల నందన గోపాల 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 గోకుల నందన గోపాల 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 గోకుల నందన గోపాల ముదాకరాత్తమోదకం సదా విముక్తి సాధకం కళాధరావతంసకం విలాసి లోకరక్షకం అనాయకైకనాయకం వినాశితే భదైత్యకం నతాశుభాశునాశకం నమామి తం వినాయకం
सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः देव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सर्ववेदांत सिद्धांत गोचरं तमगोचरं गोविंदं परमानंदं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम् प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। There comes a point in everyone's life wherein it is not anymore a sense of accomplishment, sense of success, what has been achieved, what has been procured, what has been secured, but what exactly why is anybody born, for that matter? What is it that I need to be achieving? Is there anything to be achieved of my life? And when that bug hits to the heart, important bug, an important question, unsettle anybody with any amount of accomplishment back to senses. It's a good question to be bugged with. It's a good question. I consider that question as the very blessings of that Paramatma in the form of restlessness. Restlessness is bad. Sometimes this kind of jolting, restlessness, inevitable necessity. And when that question and Adi Shankaracharya ji, without wasting much time, he says right in the beginning of this that svātmatattvānusandhānaṁ, to abide in true nature, in the core of one's own existence, is the very purpose. Times when that question comes as to what is the purpose of life, we get trapped in why. Why am I born? Why is this happening? A complete tangential environment. Why did God create this? Why did God create me? No amount of justification, no amount of answers can ever answer that why. When people ask me that question, this many are those who say that it is God who created, have different kinds of creation theory. Since I am talking to a person of a religious order, I'll say God created it. How did God create this? By expanding himself as every aspect of this creation. To me and everyone is nothing but that supreme alone in this format that we are. So who should we ask that question to? Your true nature as that Paramatma himself to yourself. Why did I create this creation? Because the premise of all are there about creation is not to prove the creation, but instead it is to prove that I, the consciousness, is the hub of this creation. Therefore, it is vital that I know my true nature. Anything else is just an expansion of our tendencies and vasanas that we design ourselves to be embedded in and to be enslaved in. When we break it is when we start questioning this. Svātmatattvānusandhānaṁ eva. Further, in the 32nd shloka, Acharya says, svātmatattvānusandhānaṁ bhaktirityaparē jaguḥ ukta sadhana sampannah tattvajignyāsurātmanah upasidet gurum prajñam yasmāt bandha vimokshanam. Svātmatattvānusandhānaṁ bhaktirityaparē jaguḥ. This is a thought that is being continued from the earlier shloka, where it has been said, Rūpānusandhānaṁ bhaktirityavidhiyate. He is trying to define what bhakti is. He says, svātmatattvānusandhānaṁ. What is bhakti? Bhakti is truly to inquire about one's own true nature and to dedicate to that inquiry. Highest form of bhakti. What a profound statement. Of bhakti that we are involved in bhajan, japa, puja, whether we do it individually or collectively, particular God, retail bhakti, forms of God, wholesale bhakti. If you go to a million Iyer household, their puja room, they will have a puja room. You will see from the floor ceiling, there are, next to each other, all possible forms of gods and goddesses, photos and portraits established. So I asked one Amma, she was close to me, so Amma, what is the purpose? We don't want to miss out on grace of any god out there. ठीक है. Whichever form of bhakti, If that bhakti is not leading us further, inquiry about this oneness within, then there is some low somewhere. The idea of bhakti and its application. Yes, it is a good process to start with. To have a chanting, to have japa, to have the bhajan, sankirtan. It's like when a child is learning alphabets, A for apple, B for blackberry, C for chrome. I can continue. D for Dell. When the child is learning it, it is the beginning of education, not the end of education. So familiar with it that they can read, write, compose themselves beyond the vocabulary that we can learn. All this preliminary bhakti marga evolve or evoke that subtlety of understanding that what I am worshipping, can it take to a higher level of devotion? Best level of devotion. Here it says, svātmatattvānusandhānaṁ bhaktihi iti apare jaguḥ. Lead to that constant inquiry, investigation into what is the nature of the self. What am I worshipping? Who is this Paramatma? What is this Ishvara? Who is this individual that is performing? Oneness that is being indicated by the Shruti. When that inquiry begins, that it is the Svatma Kripa, by that self from within. Now, once that bhakti is established, viveka, samadhi, shat sampatti and mumukshuta, and that tivrata is enhanced. Googling it up, I tried listening to this, I tried doing that. I've read a couple of books, and that madness sets in. It doesn't stop with a couple of books. Everyone who is trying to start the Hindu way of spirituality starts with one book which is very common. Biography of a yogi. Nothing to laugh about. It's an amazing book. Then we have heard a lot about Vivekananda ji, so some books about Vivekananda ji. With Bhagavan Ramakrishna Paramahamsa ji. All kinds of books and literature out there, but there is still that lack of clarity, understanding, grasp. I need someone that can guide me better. When that intensity becomes amplified, what happens? Best thing in life happens. And what is the best thing in life? That friend, that philosopher, that guru, that guide, that personal in impact that can take us by hand and guide us. When I say take us by hand, sometimes taking the hand, the other hand may be taking a chadi and whacking also. So it is not always like, it is a glorified, happy. It's me, the ego, that has to be handled. And that one who can handle my ego. May God's bless that guru. Because that guru has to handle me. Guru, when it happens in our life, needless to say, is an automatic inclination. Like when you put filing and the magnet comes near, how does those iron filings align themselves with? This seeker aligns himself or herself with that guru. Inclination that happens. So here Adi Shankaracharya ji says, Upasidet gurum pragnyam yasmat bandha vimokshanam. To that guru, the clarity of purpose should be very well understood. Not to learn about gardening, cooking, about harmonium and tabla, not to learn about hasta samudrika lakshana. Wear this kind of clothes, people say, Swamiji, can you read my hand? I said, no. There are 5 fingers, there are 4 prominent lines, and there are zigzag lines. I can read it. Not that, Swamiji. Can you predict my future? And Gurudev used to say it beautifully. I have no such capacity to predict future, nor am I interested in predicting future, but I can tell you how to make use of your present so that you can become the architect of your own future. This is the profoundness that he used to come with. Lose track that once we find such a guru, pragnyam, knowledgeable one, experienced one, then our complete attention should be do you your will? Do you talk about your property, asset management? No. You go to a doctor with a specific purpose of getting better health. When you go to a lawyer, do you go to a lawyer for anything other than, especially a lawyer who will charge you half an hour? You will go prepared with every point written down to finish everything under that 30 minutes so that you don't have to be charged a second set of $100. You are focused in asking only that. You go to a guru, when you reach to that altar of guru, point, I feel this purposelessness in where I am. I want to feel, I want to know, I want to grow in that purposefulness. and I'm ready to be repaired upon. Submit oneself. For what? Bandha vimokshanam. All different limitations that we are bound in, one by one, that layer has to be ripped open. And the readiness to submit oneself to be ripped open. Hide. With that focus, when one reaches the Guru. This is another beautiful shloka. Repeat after me. Shrotriyo vrajino akamahato yo brahmavittamaha anyuparata shantaha nirindhanaivanalaha ahetukadaya sindhuhu bandhura namatam sa. When a realized master defines what a guru should be, it will be this profound. Who is a guru? Shrotriyaha. Shrotriyaha, the one who has understood as it is pointing towards, or what it is pointing towards as ease. Shrotriyaha. That individual himself has gone through thorough understanding of the scriptures. Shrotriyaha. Meticulously paid attention to every detail given by and learnt that which was pointed at, that which was given as knowledge and wisdom based off of the Shruti. Shruti plays an important role. See, when you go to a doctor is, sometimes when you travel in India, there are people that are, and they have these small tent, and they have this jadi booty. They'll create personalized medicine, and they'll mix couple of things and then powder it, and they say, take this pudi. Would you ever attempt at such? To go with somebody who has what kind of qualification, wherein it says DR. DR means not a driver, a doctor. Again, in the doctor, the way they define, there are two kinds of doctors. Lakshmi Putra, the other one is Saraswati Putra. There's a PhD kind, there is the physician kind. So and so, MBBS, MD, they go on. Similarly, Then I say, how do I recognize, there's a right guru or not? Because there's so many out there, and the stories we hear are so scary. Puranas and all the itihasa, wherever the knowledge is spoken, no guru has ever said that this is my knowledge. Asks a question. The guru says the same question was asked by this in this lineage. This person had asked this particular question, and this was answered by that great master. And this is my experience of that knowledge. Qualification. If there is somebody who claims this is my patented path, original path, be scared. The first thing that you can chartify, what is the lineage that they belong to? What kind of guru parampara that they belong to? Is there a parampara? Like for us here in Chinmaya Mission. So Gurudev took his sannyasa diksha from Swami Shivananda Maharaj, then the Jnana Siksha from Swami Taponam Maharaj. Maharaj belongs to the tradition of the Sringeri. And Sringeri Matha was established and Adi Shankaracharyaji's parampara. Adi Shankaracharyaji's guru was Govinda Bhagavat Pada. His guru was Gauda Pada. Bhakti, Vyasa, Parashara, all the way up to about 6,000-7,000 years old tradition. When you go into the field of science, none of us have ever experienced anything that the science has taken as a premise. Questions that I ask, that all of you are educated and everybody knows that everything is made of atoms. Have you seen an atom? Not as a picture diagram on your paper, on your book, on your textbooks. Have you seen in a, what do you call that? It's called a super microscope or something. Electron microscope. But we take that premise as truth to do our further investigation. Why? Those who have researched, those who have published, those who have given the wisdom, we trust them implicitly. Because we believe them. But somehow when we come to the field of spirituality, we become unusually skeptical. Proof that the scriptures are talking this. There is a Guru Parampara, Baba. It validated it and given it to the next generation. That trust has to be. We talked about Shraddha, right? Shraddha in Shastrasya Guru Vakyasya. In that statement of Guru, that trust has to be there. Seeing is believing. I don't believe in I don't believe in blind belief. So there I say I beg to differ. Blind that need belief. I'll give you an example to make it clear. Fire burns your fingers. Is it a belief or is it a statement of fact? For those of you who it is still a statement, it becomes a statement of experience, a factual statement. It is a belief. I don't know. I've been told that it burns. It's my own experience. Then I don't say I believe fire burns. I know fire burns. Until then, isn't it the advice of the well-wisher that you start believing in? Trust has to be given in. Once a practical in a village, when I was in Vijayawada, in a temple I was speaking, and there was this elderly gentleman who was sitting and listening. He was sitting in a corner and listening. And there was this new generation of them who were sitting there. They were questioning, all these gurus are bogus. Why should we believe? Why should we trust? Suddenly lost it. He got up and said, excuse me, I have to tell these people. I said, okay, please. I didn't know what he was going to say, but he came with this, enthusiasm. As the discussion was continuing, he said, do you go to the barber? I said, yes. Do you sit there when he takes a sharp blade to shave your beard? This is the most susceptible part, that even a half centimeter in, you are done. And you give your fellow believing that he will never go beyond cutting a beard. And you barber, why not believe it will take you beyond all these limitations? And what is the first thing? He is Shrotriya. In the details, the nuances of the scripture out there. He is well known. This is the first parameter. There are some new age gurus out there who say, oh, Shruti is not required. With such interpretations. Shrotriyaha. Avrajinaha. Pure in their thought, word and deed. There is no malicious intent. What kind of malicious intent? There are enough people that are desperate out there. And in that desperation, you want to anchor to anybody that can provide that support. And this clothes used to fool people. And that is not a new tradition either. Do you know the first reference of this cloth being misused? Back to Ramayana, where Ravana took to these robes, came in as a mendicant, ascetic, and he said, you cross that line and give me bhiksha. Yasi banna pada. And he misused it. Maybe you can be fooled once or twice, but that malicious intent reveals itself. Run for your life the moment you see any impurity. There is absolutely no taint or maliciousness. They are that pure in their thought, word and deed. that their plan, their thinking, their established conviction is way beyond what we could have ever imagined, is their attitude of serving or being there as help. See, when we were with Gurudev, that was clear. While serving Gurudev, there were these brahmacharis, and they were saying to Gurudev that, there are so many that get trained in Chinmaya Mission. Chinmaya Mission. We should keep a bond that because you are trained in Chinmaya Mission, you should serve the mission for at least 5 to 10 years. Then you can take off. To suggest, and he said, Chinmaya Mission does not create trained minds for its own survival. It creates so that various other organizations can also vision. It was not about sustaining just Chinmaya Mission. Create enough ladles that can stir the society from whichever format. And if they feel the compulsion that it has served them well and they want to serve here, we would not stop them. And if they want to go out there and serve, we will not stop them either. What a grand vision. When Kedarnath, Badrinath and these temples, that is one of the names of Pujya Gurudev is Jirna Mandirodharakaya Namaha. When these temples were dilapidated, and this is in the 80s, there was the organization that was called in for all these different religious heads. That if we all pitch in together, we can rebuild these monumental places of worship. As soon as Gurudev heard it, who was working along with Gurudev as his personal secretary and stenographer, and his name was Varada Chaitanya. Anymore, he passed away. He attained Mahasamadhi. So he used to narrate these stories. I've heard it. He turned around to him and said, "How much do we have in our bank account? How much is it in CCMT?" He said, 1-2 lakh hoga. In 80s. So he turned around and said, 10 lakhs from Chinmaya Mission. It's why I said, where will you get 10 lakhs from? It is Narayana's work. He will send, don't worry. If Chinmaya Mission like organization does not step in and set a bar high, then it will all drill away. Now that I have set the bar high, it has to either match it or top it. And within half an hour, for both these temples, there were crores raised right there. When somebody who has that kind of a vision, that it is beyond an institution to the entire humanity. Another great proof, when you read through the Chinmaya Mission pledge, broad spectrum that it gives. And I'm told in Ernakulam, when somebody said we need to have a pledge that we can work towards, the Chinmaya Mission members. So he just closed his eyes for a couple of moments and he said, paper and pen. And it has been not corrected ever since. Perfect. And there he does not talk about service to Hinduism. He does not talk about service to India. He says service to the nation is the service to the Lord of Lords. Whichever country, whatever background, doesn't matter. Align yourself to that greater cause. That individual who put the effort there on the cycle to announce Angavastra, he is to tie it on his head and a dhoti, stand on that cycle, make a paper cone, announce. Swami. Who is he talking about? Himself. There is a great Swami to bring the Vedic literature, Vedic wisdom for our practical day-to-day use. Do not miss this opportunity to listen to the great Swami Chinmayananda. All Chaurats, the intersections. Happy even if there is one person sits. But when I am already putting that effort, if there are hundreds that can benefit, why should I stop the effort only with one? Numbers. I care about the impact of it that can be carried forward for that many millions of masses. What a pure vision. Purity, which reflects in their thought, word, deed. That there is never a sense of aggrandizing, of self projection, but it is for the greater good. That reflects in that purity. When somebody who was impressed with Puja Gurudev and went and said, Swamiji, ordinary person that I have ever met, and he was scribbling some letter and he didn't even look at that person. He just said, yes, I completely agree. I am an extra among the ordinary. He just turned that word around and played it very low. Are with that master, when you are with that guru, you will see that purity reflect in their thought, word and deed. By his initial students like Swamini Sharda Priyanandamma, Jyotirmayananda Swamiji and all such, where Gurudev would go in lunch, he would go to 2-3 lunches a day. Why are you torturing yourself with this kind of bhiksha? The way that I can raise money so that I can feed and educate the next generation of seekers who did not care for his body, who did not care for his comfort or sleep. Purity in their thought, in their vision. Avrajinaha. Amahataha. There is no self-projection, there is no self-desire that I should be recognized, I should be, given a platform. Our mission center in Ann Arbor, that Sharda Kumarama, that once they had booked a school. Gurudev used to have it from 5 to 6:30 in the morning. The janitor did not turn up. It had just snowed. And they were standing in the parking lot. Pushed that snow away from where he was sitting, took out his khada, the wooden sandals, them around, sat right on those sandals and said, come on, sit. Right there. I don't need a stage, I don't need any, wherever it is, let's start. That focused mind which has got nothing beyond reaching out to another soul, another human being to educate so that they can be transformed. Personal gratification or personal projection or personal gain. Something will happen to Chinmay Mission after you. He said, this institution helped this Chinmaya spread the knowledge. And when my purpose is served, if he wants it, it will continue. Completely dispassionate about the very organization that he created. That he could see it with such disassociated detachment. That there is no personal gain, personal, he used to joke around and say, you think that this Swami is rich? Look at the organization. I have named it as, organizing body is called CCMT. He used to call it as C, it is empty. That as soon as the funds would come, he would direct those funds for a project, for some social upliftment project or some books publication. He used to always keep that chamber clean. Funds come and it stays. Then all corruption begins. So he used to never allow it stay. The moment it is empty, it is his job to fill it up. Akahamahataha. Yaha Brahma, the one who is established in the true nature of that self, that Brahman. You could experience that. By being in their presence, your mind would become completely calm. Calm. I used to go with a lot of questions in my mind of him, with all intention to go there, ask, clarify. Would be completely peaceful, no agitation. It's when I leave his presence and take a bus and start to say, "Ore, aaj bhi question nahi pucha." I would go out with the mind being so peaceful. Then I used to write down on a paper and forget that I am carrying that paper to ask. Such attempts, then Gurudev said, pull out that paper. It is that, I would say, contagious, that peace and that joy. Wherever we are established, provide to the outside environment. In the pledge, as we say, producing more than what we consume, giving more than what we take, which we already have. Therefore, when we go, what do we give? Whatever we are established in excess. Agitations, le, tu bhi le. Across the world and come back. Established in that Brahman, established in that great happiness, bliss. Brahmavittamah, the best of the knowers of the self. Brahmani uparataha shantaha. paratah. Constantly their gaze is fixed. I wouldn't even say in Brahman, though that is what it has to be translated in. They're constantly abiding in that true nature. Many people even warned me when I was going initially to Chinmaya mission. Chinmaya, he is the angriest. Like there is the Vadanti about Lakshmana. Is often described as an angry, agitated individual. It is wrongly understood. Get angry and agitated only when there is something that would be distracting or disturbing Bhagwan. Not because he was going through any personal inadequacies. He was Shanta. Anything that would disturb Bhagwan, he would stand up. In fact, when Bharata comes, yeah, you take refuge, I'll take care of them. I know my Bharata. Want to protect me. But I know my Bharata. He may be coming with large army, but with Gurudev it used to happen. How many of you have met Gurudev? Good. His anger, I have seen a couple of times. Man, oh man. Where I was in Chinmaya Yuva Kendra, and the school had to be inaugurated. They had constructed the Chinmaya Vidyalaya. By mistake, they had printed one time and published, and they had informed him one time, and there was a discrepancy. Whatever time that he was informed, it was in the late afternoon. He was not in a very good health, but he still put the effort, clearly, pushing him in the wheelchair and taking him to he walked. He said, wheelchair, huh? And he walked even in that ill health, the whole campus to the people there in charge as to what has to be added, what has to be changed. People started coming in the advertised time. Swamiji, inauguration. Swamiji, inauguration. And he said, why are they asking this? And then somebody showed that in the paper it was advertised as this particular time. Ill health. He walked out when he asked, where is the secretary? And they said he is outside. And we were all outside there. We had just gone to the inauguration, came back, and we were getting ready and he screamed the name of that secretary. Where are you? And he came trembling like a leaf. How could you do this? Lashed out at him. All of us who were standing there, first exposure. The other Yuva Kendra members, probably they had known, they had seen, they all ran away, vanished. I was like shivering there, standing and watching what was happening. Pulled my collar and lashed him out. 2 minutes after the lashing was done, there was this little kid, there was this Bhagavad Gita competition that was conducted as Chant Gita Land Washington. So the winner could not go to Washington in that age group because of his ill health or something. And as soon as that kid came, Gurudev got up and just after. So people were like, don't go now, he's angry. But Gurudev had already seen that kid. He just kid and said, chant. And he chanted the whole chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Given a Guru Dakshina of about 15,000 rupees. Had lump of it, called that kid and put it in his hand. The father was scared. No, we don't want any money. Or they said, let you remember for the rest of your life. Also brings Lakshmi. Never stop your kid from learning Shruti because it will not fetch money. When we get angry, we keep simmering about it for days together. On that switch, gave him his peace of mind, turned it off, back. Sometimes as a student, we need that also. And this is where I love the definition that Swami Akhandanandji gives. A guru, जो शिष्यों पे हमेशा गुर्राते रहता हो, वो गुरु. That is the best definition. Scream at the devotees. Sishyas, he expected nothing less than perfection. He would take effort to teach. Once I was late night, I was in the duty. We were eagerly looking for such opportunities. So late night duty was that after the yajna is done, after the bhiksha is done, after everybody goes away, Gurudev would sit down and start writing letters. So my job was to take those written letters, fold them, put them in the envelope, write the address, put the stamp, the letter, folded it into 4 and was trying to squeeze it in. He looked at me and said, that is not how you fold a letter. Is also a service to that Narayana. And a clumped paper as an offering to that Narayana. And then he took that, opened it, rearranged it. You need to do it. And seeing at my skill, letter to anyone in your life. No. किसको भेजूंगा मैं? Not even to your girlfriend? And then on the envelope he said, this is where you have to write to, this is where you have to write from, this is where the stamp has to go. The letter is opened, it should be clearly seen from whom letterhead should be. This is how it should be displayed. Logic. And at that particular opportunity was the time when Puja Gurudev's, below the knee, he couldn't feel anything. Charged for about 35-40 minutes. Done, he got back to his work and started doing it, where I got this instruction. 30 mark Khan, I suggested to Gurudev. Gurudev seems to be so much in pain. Gurudev, do this tomorrow. So very casually, still writing, looked at me very compassionately. He smiled and said, you guarantee me a tomorrow? I myself don't have a guarantee of tomorrow. You guarantee me that? Meri kahan aukad? And then, while continuing to write his letters, he says, Narayana is great. Pain in my legs so that I can throw them under the table and work over the table. the spirit, that he is ready to give up every comfort so that every ounce of his existence can be used in that seva alone. That you could feel that peace just by being with him. Ivanalaha. There is a very beautiful example given. Like the fire which has burnt away all the fuel. There is no agitated presence. Calm existence. Like the fire which has consumed all the fuel away. Constantly in a pleasant disposition. Overwhelming the situation be. So once for the yajna, so he asked, how much time will it take? Minutes, but we will have to go early because there is a train that passes by and the gate closes. And then he said, arrange for 2 cars. We will still go half an hour ahead. At that gate, I'll get off, walk across and carry over in that next car. Keep another car ready. And how meticulous, disciplined. Impression of Gurudev that he used to start at 6:30. We follow IST. What is IST? Indian stretchable time. That if it is 6:30, 7:30 बजे पहुंच जाएंगे. And when he would get onto the stage and start his Om at 6:30. And if he could pull a crowd of 15,000-20,000 people over the front seats, in their seats by 6:30, 15,000-20,000 people to bring them on time, being a miracle. All a miracle. He would bring that discipline, he would bring that sincerity amongst that many people. Nirindhana ivanalaha shantaha. And when given an opportunity, when you see in close quarters, their compassion is beyond any comparison. Why? Their compassion is not born because of a certain reason. Daya Sindhu, ocean of compassion. I'll tell you my own personal experience. The vice president of CHIC, not there, so I said, hey, vice president, in February, he was there in May or June, I'm coming back for just 1 day. Go around to all the colleges. I want to dedicate that day to the youth of this city. And gung-ho, I arranged for every possible avenue, about 70-80 colleges that I had approached, advertised. After Gurudev arrived, I realized that I had organized it 1 day after Gurudev leaves. I was shivering inside. So somebody said, okay, don't worry. Some elderly mission member said, we will go tell. I said, he'll call me only. because I have done this foolish mistake. Let me own up and stand in front of him. A leaf, I stood in front. I still remember. I can still feel that shiver inside of him. What? What did you do? So I blurted out the mistake that I had done for a long time. So you see, when you expect somebody to scold you, not scold you, that sends a shiver of anxiety more than being scolded. I was eagerly waiting for him to scold me, and he doesn't scold me. He's looking at me, and I was petrified. Don't worry, I'll spare you from my scolding. Here, I have to cut your sorry figure to those, how many universities? I said about 70, 80 colleges. So 70, 80 colleges, by tomorrow you have to go tell them that you have messed up. Teach you enough lesson. I don't need to scold you. That now. So I mustered up all the youth, and then I said, I messed up, please help me. And we went across every single organization. And as we were leaving towards, going out, and said, tell them that it is cancelled. In July, when I'm coming, I will give you one more opportunity. Tell them that it is postponed to July. He need not have protected me. He would have left me there to face it. Ahetuka daya sindhu. In every act of interaction, it was only from the standpoint of that individuals to the highest. Ahetuka daya sindhu. And it says, Bandhura namatam satam. Alone can be, such guru can alone be an intimate friend, the closest of the friends. See, it is not a messed up definition of friendship. Something wrong when they are going on a wrong path, that I don't want to rat them out. It is to your own friend. If they are doing something wrong, it becomes your moral responsibility to stand up and correct them, even if it means that they do not treat you as a friend forever. Such is the effort that the Guru puts. Why? There is nothing that they want from us. Nothing. And yet will not spare a moment or a resource or energy away which could have been used for our upliftment. दिन ऐसे गुरु मिल जाए ना, that day is, Marathi saying, that day is actually Diwali Dasara. That day is the day to celebrate. The definition of a guru. Now, once we find such guru, once such guru comes into our life, Acharya says, 34th shloka, Adhya gurum bhaktya tamaradhya gurum bhaktya prahva prashraya sevanaihi प्रसन्नं तमनुप्राप्य पृच्छेत् ज्ञातव्यमात्मनः. Explain this particular shloka. I would want to refer to an episode that happens in Prashnopanishad. The Guru there is approached by 6 great scholars. And it is those 6 great scholars who ask questions. Therefore, it is called Prashnopanishad. So all 6 of them approach this great master. You are the greatest one that can relieve us from the burden of this inquiry or this doubt that we have. So he looks at them and he says, ready to answer, provided you dedicate for next 1 year this ashram. Whatever job it is given, seva. After 1 year, you ask me the questions. If I know the answer, then I will tell you. If I know the answer. If it was today's world, kya pata? What if he doesn't have enough people in the ashram and he is making a labor out of us? What if after 1 year, Mr. Guru, can we have a bond sign? 1 year you will definitely answer our questions, a memorandum of understanding signed. See, that Guru had to know them personally, to find that rapport in knowing that Guru. Once that rapport is created, once that connection is established, can be transmitted. Imagine that day when you brought your friend because you were inspired with the lectures here and you brought this completely stranger into this environment. Why did you bring me here? Nobody even listening to this. Are there people, why are they nuts? Why would they be even sitting here? And they're staring at everyone. They feel very uncomfortable, awkward. The best part is, but it was already like eons that passed by. Only 2 minutes went by. Working. Without that established rapport, without that connection established, cannot be transmitted. So here, very beautifully, tam aradhya gurum bhaktya, utmost devotion. No callousness in that devotion. Devotion. Serve and worship that Guru. And Shvetaropanishad says, how should the attitude be? Yatha deve tatha gurau. We worship God Himself with that attitude that we worship Guru. That we don't even call them on a person level. We refer to them in a third person. through our service, it is with that utmost reverence. There's a beautiful bhajan which I love. It is in a Qawwali style. सदगुरु तुम्हारे प्यार ने जीना सिखा दिया. In that, I think it is a second or third paragraph, poet writes, he says, जिस सर को मैंने आज तक तेरे पर झुका दिया, that at your feet I have completely surrendered. That is one beautiful word that I love, because I understand one part of the meaning in Hindi, the other part in English. When this sir is under his feet, no questions asked. And what kind of dedication? Who is a shishya? Sishyate anena yah saha. The one who is willingly submitting to the discipline ordained by that guru. Because it is an instruction coming from that altar of worship. Sahva prashraya sevanaihi. With humility that we serve that master. Then tam anuprapya, pleased by our devotion, our service, our dedication, our surrender, then ask about jnatavyam atmanaha. A casual environment. Sometimes when I go for yajnas, after the lecture is done, when I go to the bhiksha, they're arranging for the bhiksha, and then suddenly somebody says, Swamiji, ab kuch acha boliye. So I immediately get up, find a remote and say, entertainment kar le. क्या बोला था, अच्छा नहीं था क्या? You're dipping the dosa in sambar and enjoying it. स्वामी जी, ये आत्म चैतन्य का मतलब डोसा खाना बिल्कुल. There is time, there is place, there is opportunity. I was almost retiring back to bed. There are these, this Amma comes with very lot of devotion. स्वामी जी, इस माया से कैसे तरे संग करो, और स्वामियों को सोने से पहले डिस्टर्ब मत किया करो. You can see he is completely drained. He is about to go sleep. माया से कैसे उभरे हम? There has to be that time, that opportunity, that moment. Fully explained in Rama Gita, in Tulsi Ramayana. Tulsi Das says, "Ek baar Prabhu sukha asina." They had left Ayodhya Puri, they had gone to Chitrakuta, they had established themselves, and nice thatched roof that Lakshmanji had very peaceful, beautiful, and Ramji was also well settled and sitting there, sat down, and he looked very compassionately towards Lakshmanji. And then Lakshmanji, who had been following him all his life, opportune moment, and then says, "Bhaiya, kuch puchu?" And what was Ramji doing? He was not trying to rush after the deer and say, "Bhaiya, Maya kya hai?" That is not the time. So, tam anuprapya prasannam, finding them pleased with our dedication. Ask for the permission. May I? May I ask about for which I should be in your presence? Do you think I'm qualified to inquire into it? And when that, how should our approach of even asking that question should be? Earlier 2 days, tomorrow don't miss. That's the most beautiful connection between a guru and Shishya. Should ask the question is beautifully given in the next 2 shlokas. Dam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.